brah?
Not much. How are you, brah?
Doing good, brah. I went surfing today, brah.
Surfing today? Where at, brah?
In the water, brah.
In the water, brah.
Dude, you want to watch a movie later, brah?
Sure. What movie, brah?
Surfer King, brah.
Surfer King of what, brah?
Of the water park, brah.
Of the water park? What water park, brah?
Brah, I can't keep up this expositional dump in this goddamn brah voice, you fucking piece of shit. Look, we watched a movie today. Bitch. I'm sorry. This movie just got me a little bit testy.
Yeah.
Surfer King. By a director. Starring people.
Shot on film.
That was the most surprising part, believe it or not.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's like a sports movie from the early 90s.
Which it is close to. It's a sports movie from the mid-2000s. Okay. So, Surfer King was a movie about, well, should I just go ahead with the plot, or should we...
Just go ahead with the plot.
Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about. Okay.
Well, yeah.
All right, minute on the clock here. Go. All right. There is a guy named, what's his name? There's Alex, and then there's...
Danny?
No, it's not Danny. Blonde kid. Blonde kid
Protagonist.
came from California.
Main guy.
From California to Colorado. And he is all pissed off about having to work this summer at a water park. But he can surf. So then there's this surfing competition that they find out, and he's training for it. He's getting all pumped. And finally, at the moment of truth, he succeeds. And nothing is really non-formulaic about it. It basically follows every sports trope and teen movie that you could possibly imagine. I don't need the rest of this minute. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Gabriel Iglesias and Alan Thicke. There you go.
Should have waited for that.
Fuck you.
Yes, both of them are in this movie. Why? And know what the tragic part is about Gabriel Iglesias being in this movie?
What's that?
He's not funny.
Nope. Not at all.
His character is not even at all based on comedy. They actually get really serious at one point, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that much later.
Just out of the fucking blue. Alright. Let's just... The very first scene is something I have to talk about.
Okay.
The two main characters... Well, not two main characters. The main character and his mom are driving to the water park, and they are literally giving all the background and exposition of the movie. We don't get to see any of this shit. It's literally the entire plot of the entire film, the entire base of the movie is just spewed out in the span of like 30 seconds.
Honey, listen, I know that you didn't want to move away from California to Colorado because I have a job here because your father ran away with his secretary to Mexico and your uncle's getting you a job at the water park. I know you didn't want that.
They call it professional assistant. I'm not even fucking with you. That's actually a line in the movie. Oh my god.
I'm still stuck on how we managed to forget that guy's name. Was he that bland? I didn't think so watching it, but I guess he was.
He's bad.
He is.
He's really bad.
Huh. Poor guy. He's been in stuff since. Not good stuff, but stuff.
Anything of real merit. But, alright, now he goes in, and also, it follows the every single trope of all these types of movies and whatnot. So, like, there's the two girls. There's the girl that you really want in the end, and then there's the tits. We definitely kept noticing the girl who was the tits of the show.
Her name was Tiffany. Sorry.
Yeah. Then they couldn't... The way that they made her the entire femme fatale of the story, one, she's always wearing red.
Oh, yeah, but that's just kind of the thing of the guards.
Like, yeah, but at the same time, though, like, she's never wearing a top that is... She's never wearing a top that's actually the uniform. She's always wearing some decorative one, but it's always fucking red. Yeah. But... But that's the thing is, every scene she's in, you never see a shot with her without her tits.
Yeah.
Ever.
We read just a couple of user reviews just because we wanted to get a grasp on what kind of things we should talk about. one person said, movie, 1 out of 10. That girl's tits, 10 out of 10. They were beautiful. And I was like, well, yes, that's what we thought as well, user.
And there was a shot where you actually see a girl's ass in there and whatnot.
And it was like the most throwaway gag.
It really is. All
Ever.
right, now think about this. You know, it's just, when you have a bad movie, you up the smut. Remember, that's a rule we have here on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Some movies get that.
I think we last said it in The Tomb, which was a horror movie that didn't have anything going for it and didn't up the smut.
Not even nothing and whatnot. And the thing is, though, is like, especially when we see these movies and they're rated PG-13, you're not going to expect much out of this. And I know you might think that we're being sleazy. Well, we are, but you know that's.
If you saw her tits, you'd be sleazy too.
Yeah, even if you were straight,
it was the main character.
So.
Seriously, think about it. We cannot remember.
There was no personality in that girl. It was just the tits. Even in the first scene, it's a shot down on her when she's talking to her dad, of all people.
Well, not the first scene. Her first scene.
Well, her first scene and whatnot, but there's a shot down on her, and the cleavage takes up half the fucking frame.
Okay, look, we can't remember the main character's name. The main character. Thinking about it now, I think it's Robbie. Because Robbie Zapiro kind of sounds like a thing that sounds like a thing.
I think it probably might be and whatnot, but the real answer is right here.
If it's Robbie, I'm going to keep calling him that. If it's not, oops. So, Robbie, we can't remember him. Like, at all.
He's pretty bland.
Yeah. But her tits, that is making more of an impression than the entirety of the main character's arc.
And we know her name is Tiffany.
Yeah, because we kept making the joke that she's Tiffany.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to other characters. Gabriel Iglesias. Why are you in this?
And why are you in this and not funny? I love Gabriel Iglesias' stand-up. I think he's an extremely funny comedian.
He takes super advantage of timing and the voices that he does. That's really like A+ material. Right?
He's a really good comic. He's really good live. But, alright, I guess we can't say much about Gabriel's performance if we don't also talk about how bland and fucking so unrealistic the dialogue in this movie is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the actors in this movie, some of the actors are definitely trying.
Yeah, there are.
Like, the guy who plays Alex, you can definitely see that he is having fun with this role.
When the movie opened up, we were like, fuck this guy.
I know, he's going to be like that witty, like, smart-ass friend and whatnot.
He always has to have the last word.
He's kind of like that character in Bully that turns, in the video game Bully, that turns out to be the villain in the end. Spoiler.
Good job! All right.
But that game came out before this movie, okay?
Well, the problem being when, I think when it is your main character's too bland, that's when you add in that character.
Yeah.
When the main character is just like, this guy, he's not relatable. Let's throw in some comic relief.
He's the plot device. And really just attach these characters onto it. Or like there's only 3 memorable characters in this thing. It's Gabriel Iglesias' character. Only because it's Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah. Like,
not because of his character.
Himself, no.
His character, there's nothing there.
No.
Until that one scene, but we'll get to that. Then there's Alex, just because he's the one who actually seems to have character,
personality.
Yeah, and then there's the Pipe Man.
Pipe Man, who was played by Alan Thicke, who I know he doesn't, but Alan Thicke's a cool dude, and he was very good acting in this. I don't know if it was character-wise. Also,
he did what he could with what the lines said, because the script is so.
Right, that's what we're talking about.
So. It's really hard to explain it. I mean, like
I can explain it perfectly. Think of a teen movie, some teen semi-romantic comedy, but it's more of like a coming-of-age sort of story movie. Take all of those types of movies and boil them down to their most generic base. This is that. This is the most generic, just teen movie base ever. You got like...
This is the C student.
Yes, exactly.
This is the one that does the most minimal amount of effort to get through.
Yep. And even then, it had to do like some extra credit shit to get through. It wasn't passing on its own merit.
No, definitely. It was borrowing shit. It was basically, it's like, can I do some extra credit? Yeah. Get through the class, please. I just gotta graduate.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to quote some dialogue, but it's not memorable dialogue.
Even the handful of funny lines that like actually made us chuckle. I don't really remember any of them.
I got one. It was the only time I thought the movie was somewhat self-aware that it was bad, where it was following these tropes. It was what's his face, Robbie. Robbie gave up like essentially having sex with Tiffany, pretty much, so he could sleep before the competition because she was trying to what's the word? Fuck, mess him up. I forget the exact word, but sabotage. That's it. So he was trying to sabotage him. So he basically gave up on like sleeping with her, staying up all night with her, and then when they came in the next day to do the big competition that the thing was all about, he was like, "Yeah, no, I slept fine, and I can't be falling for every girl who wiggles her tatas at me." Then Alex is like, "Wait, hold on, she was shaking her tatas? That's a different story, man."
It's like, yeah,
that changes things.
It does change things here.
And I was like, okay, they're self-aware at least. That she
at
is
least
nothing
in that
but a pair of tits.
At least in that one instance, like, oh yes, they recognize exactly what the character is. She, and then there's the real girl, the girl that
the nice innocent blonde hair version.
What's her name?
Katie.
She's actually pretty cute.
Yeah.
And the thing is, at the same time, I mean, she's not really she's not a strong actor in this. No. I mean, like, I wouldn't say that she's bad, but at the same time, she doesn't stand out in any way. She's not memorable.
Yeah, I think
she does a competent job, but she's not really a memorable.
But you see, that's the role. Some will argue that is worse.
True.
If you're not memorable,
if you're
great,
there.
You're great. If you're bad, you're bad. But if you're just there, that is the worst thing you can do. Because you're just marking time.
Because you're just cannon fodder.
Characters, are we done with that?
I mean, yeah, basically.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Alright, there's this one scene where they try to give this character some death.
Oh my god.
And it just comes the flying fuck out of nowhere.
It was like, they were like, holy, guy, look, hey.
Alright, now first, the way that they're setting this up, at first they realize that Tiffany
well, no, that's what I was going to set up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, look, Robbie or whatever the fuck his name is, he's going to be sleeping with Tiffany, man, and she's just trying to sabotage her big win here. We got to talk to him, you know? We got to tell him that he's got to that she's not good for him, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's bring him in.
Bring him inside.
Sit down right here. Okay.
All right.
So I was from Mexico.
My family and I tried to escape the border. And
there were drug cartels chasing after us. We had to take up assumed names. It wasn't a good time. When I got here, I took a Hawaiian man's who recently died. His name was Aoki. I took his identification pretty much. I stole his identity, and now I've just been slowly trying to live my life.
I watched a whole lot of Hawaii Five-0 and just imitate the character and just get into the idea. And also, a black guy apparently is a guy from like Aurora, Illinois, or something like that and whatnot. And he's not actually Jamaican, but he pretends to be Jamaican, so he doesn't have to be on the cleaning the actual like the bathrooms and whatnot. I'm like, they actually kind of made the whole thing about how. Well, actually, the only other black person we see, and there's one that's playing a slave to the lifeguard.
There's one surfing.
There is one. Oh yeah, no. Is she black?
Yeah.
I thought she was Asian actually. Oh, no.
Surfing, not the one in the beginning.
No, whatever.
Anyway,
it has little to no bearing on this.
I feel like if we were to just focus on Gabriel Iglesias' character's story. Like, he'd still be bland, he'd still be boring. But that's one hell of a story, running from drug cartels, taking up a Hawaiian man's identity. Fuck. That sounds cool. That sounds like Season 7 of Breaking Bad or some shit.
No. Don't you dare! That'll happen in the Better You Better Call Saul spinoff.
Yeah. Gabriel Iglesias shows up.
A hell of a cameo. He replaces
Hugh.
Huel as the bodyguard.
All right, so overall,
and they made him write all of his own one-liners and whatnot. He just shows them into the show. That would be terrible.
It would be.
Okay, moving on.
Acting, we're done with that. Let's go on to
lack thereof.
Let's go on to the shorter ones to talk about. Filming, the cinematography.
One, surprised it was shot on film stock.
Yeah, we opened up the.
I don't know if it's the transfer. Maybe it's because. Yeah. We actually see the cigarette burns in the movie, and like
if you don't know what that is, watch Fight Club. That will give you the best information in like the first 30 minutes of the film.
Yeah. It just when they change reels.
Yeah, it's just a little marker. It just pops up in the corner. You've seen it in films too. You know you picked up. It's like, why is there that black spot for one frame? That's why. It's to say, hey, film projectionist, we're changing reels. But what's especially surprising about that is it's not entirely certain that this ever even got a film release.
Yeah. It was released, according to IMDb, in 2006.
Right.
I don't know if that was exactly when it was made. We at least think that was probably at least made in 2005. But at the same time, though, this movie literally looks like it was made in like 1998.
Well, see, I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying,
I know, but like the thing is, it's just everyone in the movie too. Like the way that it's all set up. Now, of course, you know, Gabriel Iglesias makes it set in the actual time that it is. But I'm like,
nobody has a cell phone, and these are all teenagers, mind you. Nobody has a cell phone. Nobody's talking about some major pop culture thing. Which, I mean, good for you for not dating your movie. But at the same time, by not having these things that are essential to the times that you're in, you feel like you're dating it even farther back.
I mean, and also when the way that the movie is just structured,
yeah,
it's
like I said, it's the most generic, just teen comedy / sports movie you've ever.
You could literally throw it anywhere in the timeline.
Yeah.
It could go in the 80s, for that matter, and whatnot. It would do the exact same thing.
Because you know how many 80s movies there are. It's like, oh, the fish
Russell Crowe!
Russell Crowe? Fuck, that's an awesome movie, apparently, then. It's Gladiator set in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, there's a Gladiator scene, too.
Oh, yeah.
About that.
We'll talk about that in a
minute. The Olympics. The Olympics.
Oh,
they are copying the fucking Revenge of the Nerds. They are copying Revenge of the Nerds. They are.
They are. But, do you know, back in the 80s, you watch, like, any sort of review shows, like Nostalgia Critic or whatever, back in the 80s, there were all those films that were like, the new fish out of water's in a new school, and he's going to have to show his stuff to get into the cool crowd. Yeah, Rad. That was the name of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that movie, except...
extreme!
Not as extreme.
No, this one... Okay. This one is like...
We'll get to the Gladiator. We'll get to the Gladiator. Holy shit. Nobody fucking surfs.
There's no surfing.
Nobody fucking surfs. You know who surfs the most? The guy who says he doesn't surf. That guy at least does some spins and shit.
Yeah. Even the guy who apparently is supposed to be really good and whatnot.
Yeah, he's really good. Let's see what he does. That's it. That's all he does. That's it.
Little flip. And in the epic ending and whatnot,
he's gonna do a backflip on his board.
Cut.
It's like if your actors don't know how to actually fight, you do cut to make it seem like they know how to fight. If your actors actually don't know how to surf.
But the thing is, though, when it comes down to fighting and cutting in between it and whatnot, with rapid editing, it also can work well with the kinetic atmosphere of a fight. The problem is with something like this, especially the way that they started up, and also it has a progression and whatnot, and then when it finally gets to a point where he's like spinning, and then it cuts to the crowd, when it hadn't been on the crowd for like the last 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
It cuts to the crowd, like, and then it cuts back to him.
And he's like halfway upside down.
In the air and whatnot, and then it just
cuts back to the crowd.
It's like, yeah.
Cuts back to him, he's now fully upside down. Cuts back to the crowd again.
Yeah.
Cuts back to him, he's now like 3/4 away. Cuts back to the crowd once more. And then now he's just back surfing straight. He doesn't even land. He's just back surfing straight. It's like...
Everyone's cheering and whatnot.
He did it! Perfect 10!
The only time everyone has ever gotten a tattoo. We called that shit.
Oh yeah, that was
halfway through the movie.
That was the whole thing. We were like, look, here's exactly how it's going to happen. They're going to have like a neck and neck score. The guy's going to have so many points that this guy would need a 10 to beat him. There's no other option. He would need a 10 to beat him. And everyone would be like, oh man.
Do you know what really would have happened, actually? If he got a 9, they would have just kept going.
They would have.
Because they said that, too!
They said, in the event of a tie, and it ended up being a tie between him and the previous champion, in the event of a tie, which this is the first time it's ever happened, holy shit!
I doubt that.
In the event of a tie, they would go on to a lightning round of surfing. You do one little ride thing. Oh, and this is all in their wave pool, by the way. This isn't like some ocean that's mystically hidden in Colorado.
It's a nice sized wave pool, but still.
It's like, let's surf on a 5-foot wave. But, yeah, and that's just it.
I want to see that wave ripping down that lane, man.
But all they do is, if they were to tie again, they keep going over and over and over and over.
Until someone wins.
Until somebody got more points than the other, or I guess if someone fell off. Because if you fall off, then you don't get any points. So
unless both of them fall off. Well, you just literally just have to get more points than them in a round.
It's like rock, paper, scissors when you're already at 2 people have won, and the next one wins it, then you just keep going. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And you just keep going like that over and over and over again until, hey, I got scissors, you got paper, fuck you.
Snip, snip.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't
cover that. And all it was like, hey, I don't want to beat him by making him fall off. I want to beat him by my own merit.
I've been holding back on being conservative.
That's to say, he was being conservative the whole time.
Why are you being conservative?
Just
You're trying to win. Just win.
Bah.
So take 2 of the fins off and use. I called the duct tape literally 3 seconds before they said it.
It was beautiful.
But the thing is, we also called the 10 thing because when the pipe
because they flat out said nobody ever gets a 10.
And then we're like, he's gonna get that 10. He's gonna so get that 10.
And that was the other thing when the slut versus the nice little innocent girl. Between that thing, we decoded that entire relationship before it even started.
5 seconds it took us.
We were like, that happens, that happens, that happens, that happens, that
That's how formulaic this movie is. This is literally every cliche in any version of this movie.
Here's the only thing. He mentioned earlier there are only 3 memorable characters. I wish to add one more to the list. I think his name was Edward, maybe Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
He was a actor with Down syndrome who was acting as the senior groundsman, pretty much.
He's been there for 8 years.
8 years he's been around. Whereas all the other people who were groundspeople seemed like they were 7. They were definitely young.
Well, they were 10.
Yeah, they were. I feel like child labor laws has to step.
Oh, the guy who was in charge of the grounds people and whatnot. It seemed like he was trying to be Leslie Nielsen impersonating Arlie Ermey. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
The only person who can do that is Leslie Nielsen.
And then at the very end, the slut character's like, maybe I've learned something. Maybe I'd like to hang out with you guys more. And they're like, no, don't do it. No. Go away. And she's like, yeah, you're probably right. And then...
So that's funny. Because the thing is, though, they're supposedly, a person who was not a lifeguard in the hierarchy of this park. They actually explained the hierarchy.
Concession stand, grounds.
What do they call them at the bottom?
Trash rats.
Trash rats.
Trash rats!
Yeah.
But no, at the very end...
nerds!
You just expect the slut to... Tiffany. You just expect Tiffany to ride off. And she's like, okay, well... Now we'll just have our little walk into the sunset moment. But no, she's sitting there in the car. And then Eddie comes up, and he's like, hi, Tiffany. And it's like, oh, hey. And we were like, should this be happening?
It's
reaches behind her, pulls out this fake coconut.
He does a trick. He's like, I got nothing up my sleeves.
Pulls it out, and then hands it to her. And she opens up, and a nice little butterfly flies out. And he's like, that is the sweetest thing I think anyone's ever done for me. And he's like, scoot over, I'm driving.
She says, you know what, get in. And what I'm like, so, really? Really, this is happening in this world and whatnot. I'm sorry, the shallowness of this character would not at all permit that this would happen.
But it did. So, yeah. And
if he's been there for 8 years, How old is that guy?
Well, how old is she, do you think? How old do you think is the daughter? How old do you think is Tiffany? Because she's the daughter of the guy who owns the place.
Yeah.
So,
but if he like is telling him how to mingle and whatnot, I'm guessing that she's supposed to be a high schooler. So
look, if Eddie started off at the same age of everyone else, where it was like 10, then Eddie has the possibility to be 18 years old, which would work in the timeline.
All right, we'll get that. But at the same time, though, they end the movie on that. They end the movie on that shot of him going like this.
No. That's like
I know,
that's
but
like a ending shot. Like they could have ended.
Or they end with them walking off into the street. Yeah, and like, I need $20.
No, that's the weirdest thing. Like he's been like apparently fighting for this girl the whole time.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure.
So then at the very end, when they're walking off, everyone's got their respective girlfriend, who they've made over this entire summer that feels like it was 3 days. Not even kidding.
Oh yeah, they never leave the park. The moment that we thought that they did leave the park, they didn't.
Yes, because they were in the car, they were driving away, and then
it cuts. It cuts back into his mom. I thought his mom was like getting home or something like that, and then it walks over like, nope, still at the park.
Still at the park. Still
So you really couldn't get. I mean, the script literally builds nothing on the mom's character is in 2 scenes. I originally thought that she was not going to be back for the rest of the movie because we got like halfway through the film and she never showed up. I'm like, she's done. They're done.
I would have agreed if not for IMDb saying, "Oh, she's higher credited in this than Gabriel Iglesias," which at that point may have just been because she was the Bionic Woman, which I don't think at that point in Gabriel's career he was that high of a name yet. But I don't know.
I mean, Gabriel is a comic. I mean, like it's hard to be extremely famous as a comic. I mean, there's a handful of good ones.
Anyway, so they're all walking away, and then the girlfriend who was fighting for like this entire time, she's like, "So when we get to school, we're gonna have the homecoming, we're gonna have the winter dance, we're gonna have this and that," and she's like being the most neediest bitch, which came out of nowhere. And then he just leans over to Alex, the other guy. He's like, "Hey, Alex, yeah, I'm gonna need $20." Cut to black. It's like, was that a joke? Was that like a running joke?
It was because earlier on in the party scene, a guy bumped into Alex and he told Alex, he's like, "Yo, man, I need $20 and I need it in currency."
That does not make a running joke.
And then went back to dancing.
Yeah. That's like us saying the word fuck is a running joke. Sure, we say it a lot, but it's not a joke.
It's a word. It's an action. It's a phrase.
Fuck. Anyway. Let's Gladiator Scene. Just
Gladiator Scene. All right. The lifeguards and the guy who's the king, the surfer king,
the cowboy is his name.
They enter the place in a Roman procession with fucking giant leaves and shit, and then all of the lifeguards that are guys are all decked out with fake shields and gladiuses. And the Surfer King is being carried on a portable throne. I played the Pharaoh and Aida in high school. Being carried in that way is awesome because you don't have to walk, but at the same time, though, they were forced to do that. You mean this guy forced these people in this world to do this?
You don't know what the Surfer King's powers are.
This thing only lasts for the entire summer, and they have this whole hierarchy and system of no!
What they went on to from there was the, I guess it was Revenge of the Nerds, pretty much.
Revenge of the Nerds.
It was essentially, they were just, it was
the geeks overpowering the jocks.
It was the Olympians, except you didn't have a geek class. You saw earlier on in the
To be honest, actually, the geek class was the trash rats.
Yes. The concession stand and the guards were just like, "Hey, how's it going? Cool stuff." Yeah, they're just talking. They're buds. Like, throughout the thing, there's inter-class dating for shame. But the trash rats, no, they don't get shit.
They are the bottom of the barrel.
Kiss my sneaker! That's it. That's essentially the trash rats compared to the other two. But they were trying to make it out. They're like, guards versus concession. This is the shit. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. And then they had like a little display thing where it was a a gladiator battle for the guards. Like, they were fighting, and they were like the worst fight you've ever seen. It's like
you could tell that it was either choreographed like 5 minutes before they shot it, or that they're just going, all right, you do this,
you do that, you do that, and then down. Down looks cool.
No, it's down, and then up.
And then
side.
And then there's that moment where they're like slash, and then they like hold the sword together but they didn't think about when they were gonna do that. They're like slash. It was bad. And then they moved on to the display for the concession people, which was like stomp the yard.
No. The people who did Stomp
that's right.
was the Trash Rats.
The Trash Rats did Stomp.
Because
we're like, good job, Trash Rats.
Trash Rats, yes.
The concession people, apparently Gabriel Iglesias, whose real name is Mondo. Never mentioned that. Mondo is his Mexican name, but his Hawaiian name
my
is
brother.
Aoki.
Yeah, the moment that the white guy says, my brother, I'm like,
you got it, brother. No. Stop that.
Shame on you.
Shame. That is their word.
Shame.
So they did a weird, almost, I guess, Hawaiian sort of pole. I was about to say pole dance.
I think it was probably a tribal dance.
Probably. Yes.
It was, or at least it was trying to be one. I don't know how authentic it would be to it and whatnot. If it wasn't,
it was as authentic as Hawaii 5-0 gets.
Probably. I mean, I have no fucking clue, but when it comes down to it, probably.
And then they just do a myriad of things throughout this Olympiad.
They have a sports training montage.
Not even training, just a sports completion. It's like,
yeah!
What is it? The
he's riding the wave!
Karate Kid, the best around one. That's the one. Where it's like when, in the Karate Kid, try to be best, but you're only a man, and a man's got to learn to... And you just see all those karate matches that doesn't involve Daniel at all.
Yeah.
That's what that is throughout this. Where they're just except they're not using Karate Kid music. We'll get to the music in a second. They're cleaning off tables, they're cleaning up trash and things. They're trying to lifeguard each of them essentially doing something. They're also having
doing something involved with tasks there at the park, and obviously everybody who are doing the tasks that they're associated with is excelling more. Like the lifeguards don't clear off the table because ew, trash and whatnot.
What is this film?
Well, the funny thing is though, the Trash Rats was actually kind of funny because they took
a water gun, like a super soaker, and
just emptied it into a trash can.
The only thing I didn't quite get about that was the guy who was behind the trash can was in full hazmat suit.
He's like, all right, do it! Shoot it now! I mean, I
didn't get it.
I
And then they went on to serving some soup that they made and all this other stuff. Everybody had their different things that they all saw. That being said, when it came to the final thing, the big surf off, everyone was pretty neck and neck. The one girl who you weren't introduced to at all, so it doesn't really matter what she did, she fell, she got some bad scores, she wasn't that good. Meanwhile...
She got a 6 total.
Cowboy and Robbie got... They were all neck and neck. They were like, tie. And they're like, well, this has never happened before, that they have a tie. Well, we must have another surf-off. Go, surf.
Go away. Surf for our merriment.
And so they surfed off, and then he did the backflip, and we've already talked about that. Olympics are weird.
No. Okay, no. This movie, no. Nothing in this movie makes any fucking sense.
Before we wrap it up, because that's a wrapping up sort of statement you're making there. Music.
The music never goes away.
Nope.
It's always there. It's like a friend that won't leave.
I've said multiple times that if you watch things like Fairly Odd Parents on Nickelodeon, you take out the dialogue, if you just listen to things behind the dialogue, you will never hear a silent moment. That's exactly what this film is. It's never taking a break from the score.
It's like a train that just keeps going.
Our funniest moment.
Even when it's running out of coal.
They were having this cowboy sort of sound. Because it was a standoff. It was like, this is the tiebreaker.
It was even playing standoff music. Like Western standoff music. It's like, but it wasn't playing that.
Yeah, I know. May as well.
But basically, it was like playing it's like a theme from you would hear from Cooking the Dead. It's like all right.
And they were doing that.
You feel like people are just like, all right, let's get ready.
Yeah, and then they were surfing, and then the first guy went down, but then the second guy's like, all right, I'm ready. And then they played this music that I can only... You said it perfectly. It's like, I'll never let go, Jack. It's like the Titanic.
It's a close-up of him when he's swimming. It's like... And the thing is, though, is like, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go.
And all they're doing is playing this uplifting music in the back. You're like, oh, God.
You have to be bad for me to quote Titanic, of all fucking things.
There's a review of that somewhere. Go find it. I don't think we can...
No, we can't.
Damn.
Fuck you, YouTube. But it boggles my mind that...
Are we doing final thoughts? Or do you have anything else?
I've got nothing. There's nothing left.
Cinematography, we did.
The lighting is fine.
Lighting was all external. It never really anything changed.
Yeah, even the night scene actually was well lit.
Pipe Man down in his little
that
basement.
Was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Well,
so lighting crew, you did okay.
Okay, good for you.
We didn't have any Beneath the Darkness problems.
No, just not pitch black.
This movie
oh my god,
great.
This movie's effects must be fantastic. Because at least I can't see them.
It's 3D.
Shit.
So editing was okay. I didn't know it, which is a good enough thing.
See, all right, the sound.
Oh yeah,
the sound. We'll wrap this up really quickly. The sound sucked. It wasn't horrible all the time, but when it was, sometimes there would be little echoes and whatnot. Sometimes you could hear the background noise. The sound effects that they add in are so fake.
Oh my god!
Because apparently this guy keeps breaking dishes, and you just hear.
It's like.
Man,
you hear that back there? He ain't that good. Oh jeez!
It was such an obvious like.
We were saying that it was like, okay, Matt, slap me. That's your sound effect for you. It's not believable.
Or even better would be like...
Ah.
And you wouldn't even be making the ah. I would just hear that.
Ah! So yeah, sound editing, not that good. Normal editing though, video editing, it was fine.
It was okay. It was nothing really. I wouldn't necessarily say it's not memorable because.
See, the problem being, like, if you're given such a generic film, you can't do anything.
It's edited generically.
You can't do anything super awesome. Say you're given like Darren Aronofsky, like just raw footage. Like, say that he had
make this into a movie.
Yeah, you can apply generic editing to that. But you can also apply freaking masterful editing. You can apply something that's just astounding.
Like Requiem for a Dream.
With this, however, you aren't given the chance to make a masterful edit. You're given the chance to make something generic.
No, you're given the chance to make an edit.
Yes.
Just an edit.
What's that? You need a paycheck? Surfer Kid.
Just edit this fucking
By
movie.
the way, this movie was called Summer Dream worldwide.
Yeah.
So
worldwide. Now, I don't know that this movie was originally released under that title or under the title of The Surfer King, but I think The Surfer King actually came second.
I think Surfer King came first, and then when they were like, hey, did you know people actually kind of want to see this over in Europe? Surfer King doesn't quite work, though. Summer Dreams!
They got surfers over in Europe.
Summer Dreams!
But no, the reason that I think that it came second is because Summer Dreams matches the pace of the movie in the very beginning until the surfing even gets to it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, is like it seems like it was more about the real theme of the movie. So I don't know. Maybe it did go out the way it was with you, and actually the foreign market came up with a better title for it, or the reverse. The title was originally that, and then the American distributor, because movies that were made in the U.S. Still could have had, a different title. Like, Night of the Living Dead, the original one, was originally called Night of the Flesh Eaters, and it was changed to it was changed by the distributor, and that's why I took the copyright notification off it, and George Romero never made any money off of it, so. Sorry, George. But, off of the topic of that, it's just that, this could have been any fucking possibility, but
that doesn't matter for the movie at hand.
Yeah.
So, as the movie as a whole...
Final thoughts.
Your final thoughts.
Final thoughts is that there's nothing special about it. It made me tired watching it. It was like come on, let's get. I know exactly what's happening. I could probably tell. We did explain to half the shit that was going on. There was a scene, when it was the duct tape to hold his feet onto the board and whatnot, and he was like, "What are you gonna use for feet brackets?" And I said duct tape, and the guy says like. Duct tape. I'm like, oh, you're so fucking predictable. Yours.
Mine? Oh, my final thoughts of this film. I would say It's not the worst thing we've watched here. It's not the best thing we've watched here. That one, I think that still goes to Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Yeah.
That one was the film that we didn't really fit in here.
It's just a movie of what the fuck.
It was so weird. But I don't know.
I watched it again. It's still what the fuck.
Overall, this movie was okay. It was. I mean, I don't want to say straight to video. That's what I want to say. Straight to video is exactly what this is.
Not even DVD. Straight to video.
Well,
VHS. Yeah. That's like it's a VHS. Why not? We'll have that below. You know, there's straight to DVD. Then straight to VHS.
Yep.
Then the most bottom one is Laserdisc.
Betamax.
Beta. Just Betamax.
But overall, it didn't teach any bad morals. It didn't do anything intentionally wrong. It was just generic overall.
It exists.
It exists. It's neither good nor bad in a way that...
It tips the scales in neither side. It sits in the center.
It tips the scales more towards bad, just as a bad...
Yeah, it is bad.
You're not going to sit there and say, like, oh my god, Surfer King just changed me. You're going to say, like, oh my god, Surfer King just changed me.
What did I just watch?
Yeah.
What? Surfer what? This is a good movie to go to sleep to.
So... Yeah, overall, in the way of if you should watch it, I would say no. I was going to say yes, but then I realized I couldn't think of a good reason for you to watch it. I'm going to say no, unless you really like this review and you want to feel like you're a part of our show. Don't do that.
But if you're a sane human being, then you can keep the hour and 35 minutes of your time and not watch it.
Really, I feel like this movie could have been made better. It really could.
If it had to be made, it could have been made better.
Right, and I know it sounds...
I could have done a better punch-up job on the script, and I'm not even that great.
Look, what I'm saying is, there's one thing, we said it at the beginning, we're saying it again now, up the sleeves. I know you're going for PG-13.
Jack up the tits and blood.
It's all that, but you just need to realize if you don't have substance, you gotta have smut. And... really, it got rated PG-13 for 3 reasons. Just 3 little reasons. 3 reasons that a Disney film would do, and we would even certainly do here.
We probably do it in the first sections of our reviews.
So, you know what? Here we go. ShitFlix presents why this movie was rated PG-13. First, some language. Fuck. There you go. Second, some drug references. Off screen, please. And finally, for some brief nudity.
Ladies.
All the bad boys want some more